I had an idea. I was going to start a video log. Actually, it was inspired by a friend of mine who started his. And I'm trying this out. Let's see if this format works for me. I tried blog, but that just wasn't quite working. The last blog that I left entry that I made was in right before the Super Bowl, actually. So, not quite keeping up on that. That's just not working. My name is Jennifer, and I'm just going to let you guys know a little bit about me. I'm a single mom, 2 boys. I have a boy that's age 12 and another boy that's age of 7. And just like typical boys, we've had our runs to the ERs for stitches, for smushed fingers. We've had the capturing of frogs and lizards and all sorts of other things that I'm just like, oh, okay, you're being boys. I'm also a full-time student. I'm studying for my Associates of Arts degree in Information Technology. And from there, it's going to serve as a launching pad into the workforce. And I am planning on keeping up my studies part-time and get a BA in Information Technology. Right now, my interests are in network securities and administration. I've had a couple of classes in that, and I've really, really enjoyed the classes. And I can only imagine, learning more and more things about them, which would just be wonderful. I'm also active in the Society of Creative Anachronism. Now, some of you may have heard of that, some of you may not. For those that have not, the Society of Creative Anachronism is a history reenactment group. We reenact the Middle Ages. We put on demonstrations and we host events in which we dress up in a persona of a character of someone that would be living during periods between 600 and 1600, and we learn their craft, their way of manners, how they ate, how they dressed. We try to be as accurate as possible. For myself, I have chosen a woman that is living in Ireland during the year 1525. She is comes from Wales. Her husband has died. Not quite sure. I haven't delved into his story that much as to how he died or anything, but he is just absent. So she's come back to her family, which have been in Cork in Ireland since 1125. And I am just learning more and more about what if a lady of that time period and of that stature, what she would do to fill her day, what would she know, what would her talents be. I am known as Lady Guinevere de Berry in the society. I'm also within my local group. I am the youth officer, and I also like to dabble a little bit in everything. I'm learning period cooking. I am also taking up weaving, and I am learning to sew. Being that it's 1525, that means Tudors. Not quite like the Tudors you've seen on HBO. The costumes are a little off. I mean, it's inspired, I guess you could say, by the Tudor era, but not exactly correct. But some of the headgear, the hats that I saw, at least in the first couple of seasons, those were pretty close, closer than the dress was. That's for sure. Let's see. So learning all that, learning what jewelry would be appropriate, what clothing was appropriate. That's all part of developing your character, so to speak. The other things that I do is I have a dog. It's a dachshund. He's about 16 years old, so he's he's an old timer, so you take it easy on him, but he's still got a little spunk left into him. When, you know, when I leave, I come back, you know, he's at the door wagging his tail. He's anxious to see me. When the boys come home from school, he's greeting them at the door yet. You know, he just moves a little slower and has a, you know, takes a little bit more time to accomplish things. Let's see. I live in a small town in Minnesota. My parents moved here in my sophomore year of high school, and I left and came back, and I'm hoping to leave again. I'm not necessarily a small town girl. I enjoy the big yards, the friendliness of a small town. However, I miss the busyness and the culture and the pubs, the daily activity life of a bigger town. And so I'm hoping that once I get into the workforce again, I can find a happy medium for myself and for my children. My children, all they've known is small town living. And so that'll be a bridge that we'll have to cross and that sort of thing when I'm through with school. Because as I've told my boys and I've been preparing them for, is that, guys, we're going to go wherever my job takes me. And, you know, and that's just kind of how things are going to have to be. You know, I hope for their sake that the transition is as easy as possible. And for myself as well. Well, that's where I'm going to start off with, and hopefully you guys, if you have any questions, if you want to leave any comments, that'd be great. I'd love to hear from you. Any suggestions on how to make it a little bit more lively or anything that can help, that would be wonderful, because this, like I said, my very first video log, so trying to, you know, make sure that I get everything and everybody enjoys everything. That'd be great. All right. Thanks, guys.